I'm Michael Baker, and I'm interviewing Mr. Chris McClure, who's a business teacher and a coach at Smoky Valley High School. Ms. McClure's educational background is a bachelor's degree of accounting at Ottawa University. At first he wanted to be an accountant, and while he was getting his accounting degree, he also took some teaching classes because he also thought teaching might be a possibility if accounting didn't go that way. And it's a good thing he did, because after working as an accountant, Mr. McClure decided he wanted to teach. So he got his teaching certificate in a year, which was 45 credit hours in a year at Sterling College. So that was a pretty rough year, but it was just a year. And then opportunity for advancement in teaching. Mr. McClure explained that there's opportunity to advance in teaching in a couple different ways. You can higher education. He got his master's at Wichita State in curriculum and instruction, which increased his salary. And you can also move up by being a athletic director or a principal or like a superintendent. But that also requires more schooling, and you have to go and get like a certificate program, like an administration certificate, which also is another thing of schooling. How long has he been at Smoky Valley or in teaching? Mr. McClure is at Smoky for 11 years, and then he got his first job in teaching 2 years at Claflin and was employed right after graduation. So that's good news. His responsibilities as the teacher, obviously monitoring students, grading. He also coaches, and then he's also explaining that at Smoky that teachers are required to be in charge of like organizations and groups and stuff, like a class sponsor or FCA or FCCLA, and they're pretty much like in charge of making sure that the groups are doing things that are productive, like fundraising or setting up stuff like prom or athletic events. I asked if he felt if his salary was adequate for the work that he was doing, and in his opinion, for teaching and coaching, the salary is great. But ever since the new legislation, like No Child Left Behind, etc., that they're required to do more paperwork and stuff, he feels that that's not what he really is getting paid to do. He explained that they do paperwork to prove that they're teaching, and they're required to do in-service days where they just fill out paperwork, and he doesn't feel like they pay him enough to do that. Major responsibilities. He felt like being a mentor to his students that he teaches and the athletes that he coaches is a big part of his job. Setting a good example. Setting up students for success in the classroom, and also the new paperwork is part of his major responsibilities. His previous experiences was student teaching. He felt like that helped him out a lot. It felt like you know, it was like he explained it like watching like being on the basketball team and being on the bench, and then your freshman, sophomore year, and then having that experience that freshman, sophomore year, and then playing the varsity. That's how he kind of explained it. He also thought that teaching at a smaller school first was a good experience, less students, wasn't as intimidating, and then his previous teachers and coaches were also helpful in his experience, and also co-workers and teachers can help you become a better teacher, he said. And then I asked if there was any advice that he could give, and he said be proactive in your employment and learn to solve your own problems if possible. And he said that be the employer that knows how to do his job rather than the employee who knows how to do it out of habit. It makes it harder for you to be replaced.